Hi, I'm Father Kevin from St. Raphael Church here in St. Petersburg, Florida. We continue to celebrate the Easter miracle for 6 weeks, despite the coronavirus with its various mantras. For example, sanitize hands often, maintain social distance, stay home. Our Easter mantra is Jesus Christ lives, and because he lives, we live. In Sunday's Gospel according to John, we have a post-resurrection appearance of Jesus in a house where the apostles hide behind locked doors. Jesus suddenly appears, not merely as a spirit or a ghost, nor was he simply resuscitated. Jesus was the same person that the disciples knew before, but his earthly body was transformed. It was, as Pope Benedict XVI phrased it, an evolutionary leap into a new kind of spiritual embodiment. The risen Christ then bestows upon the disciples the energizing spirit, the abiding peace, and the overwhelming mercy of God. But skeptical Thomas wasn't there. Lo and behold, a week later, Jesus appears again. Thomas sees the light and makes that awesome declaration of faith, my Lord and my God. Who is this Thomas? The name is a nickname meaning twin in Aramaic. We know little about him, yet doubting Thomas is easily identifiable with many people today. Because to be human is to question. To be human is to ask for concrete evidence. As someone from Missouri would say, show me the money. Christianity proposes that we are born to be in relationship with God. Otherwise, we will experience an emptiness, a restlessness, a feeling that something is missing. St. Augustine captured this spiritual hunger eloquently in his Confessions centuries ago. Our hearts are restless until they can find rest in you, O God. Leo Tolstoy, the renowned 20th century Russian writer, wrote a book titled A Confession, describing his own search for meaning and purpose. He pursued it first in the carousing social circles of Moscow and St. Petersburg, Russia. That didn't satisfy him. He sought wealth, fame, family. Even with a loving wife and 13 children, still one question haunted him. Is there any meaning in my life which will not be annihilated by the inevitability of my own death? Eventually, Tolstoy discovered that the simple Russian farm people found the answer through their lively faith, their relationship with God. The one thing we all need is a loving, ongoing relationship. But no human relationship will satisfy us completely because God created us to live in relationship with him. Sometimes people ask, it doesn't matter what you believe so long as you're sincere. But it's possible to be sincerely wrong. Yes, God made every human being in his image. Somehow we broke that relationship and clouded that image with sin. Good and bad, generosity and selfishness, light and darkness, all live within us. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus reestablished our relationship with God through his horrible death and glorious resurrection. Where there was death, now we find life. Where there was an empty tomb, now we find hope. We all cry out for reconciliation and peace, healing and mercy. which we celebrated yesterday, Divine Mercy Sunday. We yearn for truth and peace and justice, and only in Jesus Christ can we truly find it. Jesus Christ has freed us from death and nothingness so that we can be in relationship with God forever. He founded a church, a community of disciples, to continue his saving work until he comes again at the end time with great glory and power. In this community, God transforms us through the sacraments into new creatures, called to live as his sons and daughters. Now, one final word about Thomas the Questioner. Various indicators point to God. The order in the universe presupposes an orderer, like a watch presupposes a watchmaker. Hope presupposes a future, and so forth. But of course, there are also signs that point to no God. For example, genocide or the Holocaust, or even pandemic diseases. But faith in God is a calculated risk. Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician, inventor, and philosopher, wagered like this: one does not know whether God exists. Not believing in God is bad for one's eternal soul if God does exist. Believing in God is of no consequence if God does not exist. Therefore, it's in one's interest to believe in God. Think about it. In other words, faith in God is a good bet. An aha moment for the doubting Thomas was the appearance of Jesus in the upper room, my Lord and my God. Yes, Jesus lives, and because he lives, you and I live. Life with God is the ultimate purpose of life. Someday, God will transform this earthly body of ours like that of Jesus, once crucified and now risen, in some unimaginable way, into a new kind of spiritual embodiment. At a funeral mass, we hear the words, "For those who believe, life is not taken away, life is merely changed." Let us pray that our faith in God will empower us, like Thomas, to cry out every day, my Lord and my God. This is Father Kevin from St. Raphael Church, wishing you a blessed day.